What's up, Panda Dudes? Peter from Panda here. Hey, just purchased myself this Arms Tac Paracord Survival Bracelet. This is a true unboxing and exploration of this bracelet. I've never checked this out before, but I just ordered it. It's not super expensive, about 10 bucks. And you've probably seen a lot of paracord bracelets, but this one seemed to be interesting because of how much functionality it had. So, all right, let's start with the obvious. The first thing you'll notice here is that there is a compass strapped into the paracord, and it's plastic. The base here is kind of rubbery. Still plastic thing on top here. Just like any of these little liquid floating compasses, you gotta kind of find the right point where the disc gets free and wiggles, and you can see there it's pointing north, and that's correct. I'll flip it around here and it goes right back. That's north. It's not going to be something you're going to want to orient or do orienteering by, but they sure are handy, especially when you're trying to magnetize a needle and float it on a leaf. And this seems fairly durable. I'm pretty impressed. I feel like I could beat that around a little bit. It looks like this little rubber strap goes all the way under the paracord. So you can't take it off and clip it to something else, which is fine. You would actually have to kind of take it off. I mean, you could probably cut it off right there if you wanted to. But if you really needed to use this paracord, you could unwind it, and this is probably going to come off. There are also, it looks white here on the camera, but these are little silver flakes, and they kind of remind me of, glitter. It may be hard to see here just because everything looks white in the light, but they truly are silver. They look a little like foil, and they reflect. And I guess in the description, what they're saying is that you can kind of use it to get a little shimmer to help signal potentially. I'm kind of torn about that. I think if you're going to use something to kind of signal or get attention, this probably isn't kind of going to produce enough bang for you to get that. And then secondly, when you do wear it and it's going to get dirty, you're going to get some dirt and dust and grime in there. It's probably going to dull it out. But anyway, it's there, so I can't fault that. Then there is also this pretty handy little clip here, and you can see that it's kind of the standard plastic hiking clips, but you'll notice a couple of other strange things here. One, you've got this metal blade, which is pretty sharp. It's not like knife sharp. I wouldn't run my finger this way on it, but definitely metal. And then on this end, you have a little, that I assume is the ferrous rod. So you could probably, and it looks like it's coated here. So if I take this, I'll scratch a little, you can see underneath there we get to, like, I presume that the magnesium. I'm not an expert on how that works, but you could scrape some of this off into a little pile on your tinder bundle, and then really strike it fast to get, there we go, to get your spark. So another really cool little feature, and I love the way that this is designed so that the blade is on the outside of the buckle, because you'll have your wrist in here, and you won't have to worry about it ever scraping up against your skin and hurting you there. And it is recessed here into this little indentation, so you also don't have to worry about it really kind of cutting something else, with the sharp edge down. It's beveled there, so nice, firm. You don't have to worry about getting hurt there. Pretty nifty design. I definitely love having fire making capabilities with you. particularly in a little bracelet like this or with the 550 paracord. As I'm trying to put this on, I will tell you, I just saw an episode of Dual Survivor, and I don't know if you saw that one, but Joe Tedeye actually uses paracord to saw off those flex cuffs, plastic, it's essentially wire or plastic, what do you call them, zip ties kind of a thing. I did not realize that the outside of paracord, this material, was strong enough or rough enough to cut through that stuff, but you apparently can. I have a fairly big wrist. I wear watch bands about 7.5 inches, so I think I'm just a little bit larger on wrist than the average cat. But this actually has plenty of space. I can fit a couple fingers under there if need be. One finger very very easily. So I don't think you're gonna have any problem with it being fairly snug. What I can tell you is that because this clip is fairly large, you've got a lot of things in here. I'll show you this thing here too. You have kind of this big flat base, so it doesn't really hug your wrist as much as some of the strict paracord bracelets with just a little loop or clip, or some of them just have little like a tie on the end. But it's super comfortable. It's super light. You hardly notice it's there. But I think the trade-off in having the fire starter is immense. Last thing I'll point out here, and I wasn't even sure of it what it was until now, is a whistle. So this is actually really helpful too, man. I mean, if you've just been out talking a lot during the day, you can lose your voice pretty easily, especially in an emergency. It could be really nice to have this whistle. Now, I don't know how well it'll work. It's not very big. You can see there, you blow into this piece here. There is the valve there. There's a little hole on the bottom, but let me give it a shot. Okay. If you really get air going in there fast, you can get a whistle. Otherwise, it just kind of sounds like a little bit of a screech. But I don't want to blow too hard because it's kind of quiet and it's pretty late at the moment. But all right, I wasn't even blowing with all my might or anything, but you do get kind of that high pitched screech. So it works. Again, it's survival tool, so you don't want to expect the world's best referee whistle or anything, but that can certainly be helpful too, especially if you're just traveling with people and you're trying to signal as opposed to saying, hey, where are you, all the time. A lot of times you could use that, and if your buddy also has one while you're out hiking, use them to signal back and forth. That's pretty awesome. So overall, I'm really stoked about this. Like I said, you can find this on Amazon.com. It is. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's fairly cheap, about $10. That's what you're going to pay for a lot of 550 cord bracelets, and I think you get a lot with it. So I'm definitely holding on to this one. This is going in my day pack, and when I go hiking, I will definitely be wearing this sucker. Peter Von Panda for the Armstack Paracord Survival Bracelet. Truly survival bracelet. Out.